Happy Days, is he Egyptian or is he basketballian? Radio?
Well, is I'm Egyptian or basketballian?
Yeah.
Well, well, yes, well, yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Basketballian, okay.
yeah,
Well, I'm gonna disregard that.
okay, yeah.
Um,
I was just, I wasn't sure what that meant.
okay, but yeah, but Black Americans do have Egyptian ancestry, ancient Egyptian ancestry, because there's a record that after the fall of Egypt, Egyptians migrated further south and southwest into the interior of Africa. So there's Herodotus mentions it and on top of that, when after the fall of the pharaonic dynasties, we do not see a continuation of hieroglyphs, and of kings and all that, because it was conquered and occupied by foreigners. Okay, first by the Persians, then first by the Greeks, then by the Greeks, then by the Romans, then by the Arabs. Okay, so by the time the Arabs came into Egypt, Egypt was long gone. It was already dead, and the people. And what happened to the people? They fled and migrated into further south and further west into the interior parts of Africa. So, and when we deal with the classifications of today, such as the Bantu expansion and all that, I do not believe in it. Okay, I do not believe it. I believe that the ancestors of African Americans came from the Nile Valley. Okay, came from the land of Kush, which was south of Egypt, and also Egyptians from Egypt. So I mean, at different time periods, there were different migrations, pre-dynastic, prehistoric, and dynastic migrations, because there was a time where Egypt was an imperial power, and they sent out colonies. Okay, they sent out colonies to Greece and some parts of Asia, and they sent out colonies into other parts of Africa. And on top of that, after the dynasty fell, when it was attacked by the Persians, okay, a lot of Egyptians left Egypt, migrated out of Egypt, and went into the interior parts of Africa. And we see a growth of population in the interior parts of Africa. So yes, I am Egyptian and I am Ethiopian as well.
Damn. You got this down, dude. So I got a question. So if the pharaohs in this dynasty were the god race, do you believe they were the blessed Amenhotep god race?
Well, yes, I mean,
so how did they lose? How did they lose? Where'd they go?
Well, how did they lose? Well, I will say that they had many problems. Well, when we deal with the historical records, they had problems within their own country. There became a time where foreigners invaded. And they had to depend on foreigners and mercenary troops, to fight their battles, and within their own country, they became disunified.
So is that a weak god race?
Well, yes, I will say that, yeah, they became, because of that, they became weaker later on. But when they were united, okay, under one God, which is Amun Ra, okay, they were number one. They could not be stopped, okay. But later on, when they got disunited, okay, and that's when their dynasty fell, okay. So, and there's really, a lot of there's a lot of things, a lot of stuff that historians do not know. I mean, but they go by the records, and we see, influx
but the historians that you go to, they do know.
Well, so they know some, but they don't know it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so do you go to like a pyramid somewhere? Like, do you have a service, like a little church? Do you have a pyramid you go to worship, or what do you do?
Well, when I was in well, I used to live in California. They had a temple there. But when I moved, they don't. I used to worship in a temple.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a temple, but the location that I'm at now.
Who started that movement?
Who started that movement?
Yeah.
Well, well, it started. That movement started, I believe, in New York. Um, just we had
Is it a denomination of some kind?
yeah. It's just but it's not just one movement. It's just people in different cities, doing it a different way. But it's nothing like the Nation of Islam or nothing like that.
Okay, but
But
does it have a similar kind of beginning? Like there's a dude who started it in recent times.
um, well, we have our, our great elder Baba Heru in New York. He started the one down there, and in Los Angeles. There's the Caress Center started by I believe his name Marakara. Um, he's he started one down here. So but it just it's more like a local thing. It's not a it's not a international thing.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe it was started by somebody who wanted to start a cult?
Well, I am aware of Dr. Malachi York that who started his cult in Atlanta, but you know he was a Muslim. He was claiming all these religions, and he was claiming all these identities, and he was very confused, and
Okay.
and they end up shutting him down. So but I read history and I go by the knowledge, and it also has ties into African voodoo, African spirituality, some even some Africans in Africa today still worship Amun Ra. They call him Aman, okay, because as I said, the people that worship this god, which the his his importance and his importance it rose to power during the 18th dynasty. Okay, and then it was during this time where the 18th dynasty Egyptians, brought the worship of this god into other parts of Africa and also into Greece. Okay, parts of Greece. That's where we get Zeus from. Okay, Zeus is another name for Amen. So Egyptians brought the worship of Amen to Greece, and
Okay. Can I interject something? Can I give you my assessment here just from the outset?
Yeah, go ahead.
You've been given a narrative crafted to appeal specifically to you, and I'm gonna guarantee you, I don't know, but I guarantee if I look into the people that started this movement, there's some kind of deep state shadow government connection. I guarantee you, somebody from the FBI or something like that is who started this group, and it's just a cult to give you as a black person the same kind of mythology that feds give to neo-Nazi type groups.
Well, I mean, if you want to put it that way, I mean that really doesn't apply to me. I'm just and also I would have to disagree with you in saying that it's similar to neo-Nazism. Okay,
But you
because
believe, how is it different?
well, first of all, Hitler, he built up an army and literally went out and killed people and tortured people. Okay, now any cult leader in any black cult leader in America never did that.
Well, that's because it's illegal. But
Well,
there have been plenty of leaders in Africa who've done that. People in Liberia do that.
I mean, yeah, Africa, but at the same time, you don't see those Africans, walking around worshiping Amun Ra. They don't give a damn about Amun Ra. I mean, a lot of them are Muslims. They worship Allah. So is it really it has nothing to do with with Egyptian and you know, with Amun Ra, and some of them they're not Muslims. You know, they worship their native African gods, but it has nothing to do with Amun Ra or ancient Egyptian or none of that. So and like I said, you know, you see more Muslims doing that, and they you know, and their god is not Amun Ra. It's Allah.
So what happens if a white person wants to convert to this? Can I convert? What do I have to do? Do I go to a temple?
Well, I mean, okay. There are groups that accept white people, okay,
Yeah.
but you know, but some groups do not.
How about
have
you?
To be African.
How about you? Would you approve of white people being in it?
No.
But okay, let's
Well, I
say.
will not, 'cause,
But like, what if I was like, you know, I'm down to do everything that you're asking me to, you know? Let's say I would do things to, you know, benefit your like your cause and everything. Like,
well, I will say, man, it wouldn't make any sense for a white person to, you know, to be in it. I mean, I'll say this, man.
yeah,
I mean, the history is out there.
wait, hang on, but radio, you believe that like in the past, like everyone was black, right?
Yes.
So like technically I'm black in spirit through ancestry, right? So technically I'm not white, therefore I can be part of it, right?
Well,
It's not my fault I don't have enough melanin in my skin, you know?
I mean, those people who were black back then, I mean, they were black, okay, but you know, but white, okay, but white people today, I mean, even if they are the descendants of those black people, okay, they're not black anymore.
What if I pay?
Where do the white devils come from? Where do we white devils come from?
Well, white devils, I'll say that, you know, that the white race originated in the northern regions where in the area of Russia, and all the area because of the climate. You know, the climate will you know, it's it's known for turning people white.
Okay, but did Amun Hotep Ra create us too, or not?
Well, I really can't answer that. You know, if he yeah, if he was a creator god, yeah, I would say that, but you know, but the Africans, okay, the Africans who left Africa and went into Europe, okay, when they left Africa as Africans, but when they went into the continent of Europe, they became Europeans. So so I will say, you know, that, you know, you probably used to be Africans, but you're no longer African. You're now Europeans. Just as Asians are now Asians or Asiatics.
Asiatics, yeah,
So,
but it's not my fault, you know. I want to be part of the temple, but all right, fine. I'll just find somewhere else to go.
Dude. I capitulate. All right.
What if I was like, yo, let me join your cause, or I'll become a Nazi? Would you do it to prevent me from being a Nazi?
Well, I would say, you know, it would make more sense that you, I mean, that you will be a Nazi. You will be a Nazi. So,
but I'm saying you can prevent one more Nazi from existing by just letting me in.
Well, hold on. I'll say it like this. You know, it's all about keeping it real to yourself, man.
I hear you.
If you're gonna be if you're gonna be a Nazi, be a true Nazi. I mean,
don't try to infiltrate the temple.
Okay.
I really like this guy, man.
Okay, don't be a Nazi that's walking around, you know, claiming to, you know, to be Egyptian or be Amun Ra.
So don't be a half-ass Nazi, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
go. Yeah.
Exactly.